Hello there, in this video I will show how to make a nice looking bar in Windrose inside of this Tavern building. The bar actually, despite being mostly an aesthetical build, still have quite a lot of functionality built into or hidden inside of the bar so that you can use it as a practical building as well. Let's get started. This is the bar and, well, some area around it as well. And you may notice there are people standing in the bar. These are actually the merchant for animal products and the merchant for food. There is also the cooking fire here. It kind of feels natural to have the cooking fire inside of the bar, and it's level 4, so upgraded to the max, and all of the different things for the cooking fire is hidden inside of the bar here. Since the bar is kind of small, I couldn't fit the merchant for natural resources, so he ended up having to camp on the outside of the building. So this is the Tavern build where I have the bar. The bar is on the second floor. On the first floor there is a storage area. I both have a step-by-step guide to the whole building as well as a guide to the storage area. Those will be linked in the description below. I have built a little replica here of the second floor. It looks nothing like the other building on the outside, but on the inside it got the same dimensions, including the windows in the exact same places. Let's start with the windows, and even if you haven't followed the full guide for the Tavern build, this might still be some useful information. If you make some custom flower boxes for your windows using seed beds, then you might have some parts of it sticking through on the inside. I will hide that using the mahogany wall and create a nice looking border along the floor. It will provide some extra detail as well. If you just free place the mahogany wall against the other wall like this, it will actually stick out quite a lot. But if you instead look towards the floor here, you can kind of free place it a lot closer if you like to. So let's just experiment here, getting it to align with the window and still hide most of those things sticking out. So something like this. And then we can just snap here and drag. It might not align well with corners and doors, but then you just have to free place there as well. And also a few extra beams around the door here. Have you noticed that when you place a pillar here, like this, to the right hand side, it actually jumps outward a bit. So to get it in the correct position, we actually have to place it inward a little bit. So probably something like this. And then one pillar down to the floor on either side. And then place a beam here, matching the height of the window still. So something like this, going around the whole building. A last little detail before we start working on the bar. If you put curtains on like this, they will stick out quite a lot from the wall. What I did on my build is instead put them closer to the wall by removing a bit of the wall here. Putting up some new walls just a little bit inside of the first one, like this, depending on how far in you want to push them. And now you can place the curtains a lot closer to the wall, so like this. Then just remove these ones and snap back into place. Let's start with the bar itself by placing down a pillar around here. It doesn't have to be that precise, going all the way to the floor. If it doesn't quite reach the floor, you can always free place the last one like this to kind of cover that up. Also place a pillar over here and just drag it out towards the wall. Let's grab the merchant for animal products, so you can actually push it through the pillar, kind of halfway. And I like to position it so that the boxes here actually stick out on the other side a little bit. So something like this. Once the bar is in place, it will look like those boxes are standing on the other side of the pillar. Now we just got to hide everything using planks and pillars. You might have to experiment a bit to get it to the correct height. Sometimes a little bit is peeking through. But we also don't want to build the bar through the bartender. So once we got everything to the correct height, free place another one like this, so it kind of covers all of the stuff, but not most of the merchant. Then we use pillars and beams to hide the rest of the stuff. If you free place something against the surface, it usually sticks through kind of halfway. So if we place a pillar like this, and then a new one, this one will be aligned with the first one. We can remove this one, and then use the new one as a snapping point to kind of drag something down here as well. Now we have hidden most of the stuff, and we can place the second merchant. You have to experiment a little bit with positioning to get them to align. Let's see, I think they are kind of aligned now. Drag the beams out. Drag the floors out. You might want all the vegetables here to show as well, but if you don't, you can cover it up. A pillar over here somewhere, just free place below as well. And you use that pillar to free place some on your walls. The first one might be a bit hard to get in place, but once you got that one in place, you can use a second one to place against it and drag out and remove the first one, and it should look like this. Now just finish the bar off here. You might have to do quite a lot of free placing here towards the end to get everything to fit nicely. The bar disc is done, and if you have a larger bar, you can of course incorporate all of the merchants, as well as doing some variations on what type of wares you want to show and what type of wares you want to hide. And let's continue with the rest of the details here around the bar. Now when we know how far the bar actually goes out, we can continue with the beam up here, drag it outwards and try to kind of match the length of the bar here, and then also going inwards, roughly at the same spot as this one here. So like this and into the wall. Before we continue with the stuff behind the bar, I just want to quickly show how to make this little lamp here. I think it's really pretty. It's meant to stand on a table, but I use it in this setup hanging from the roof instead in several different places. Place a chain down from the roof. Now you cannot attach this lamp directly to the chain because it's meant to stand on a table, but if you first create something to place it on top of, like some floorboards, like this, let's see if I got them to the correct height, I think so, then grab the lamp and place it inside of the chain, and now we can remove all of the floorboards, and the lamp is hanging there quite pretty. I have a very long shelf behind the bar, and it's positioned at roughly the height of the window still and against this window over here. So let's just drag it out like this. I will place a pillar here against the wall, kind of aligning with the beam going up here in the roof. Place a beam over here, roughly at this position, and kind of drag it out towards the end here. And then we match this pillar on the other side over here. So it should be something like this, going all the way up to the roof. By the way, for those who did watch the step-by-step building of the whole tavern, this one is actually a different window than I used in the step-by-step build. For some reason I kind of thought that this type of window looked a little bit better just behind the bar than this type of window. Time to put up some fishnets in the roof using these canopies. You just place the first one under the roof like this. I think this adds kind of a lot to the feeling of a seafaring or a pirate team. Then we need some temporary pillars just to attach the second one. It should be placed somewhere here. You might have to experiment a little bit with the exact position. And use this second one to be able to kind of push this one into the wall. You can see I should probably have put it a little bit towards the right hand side. So let's reposition this one. I think that's good. And now we can remove these ones. Next, let's add some more beams, both around the window, like this. And up here, going out towards this pillar over here, and against the wall. Some details in the corner. I will actually add these to every corner in the room, even though I won't show it on the video here. It's kind of hard to see in the dark, but you can also continue this little beam here by attaching some beam over on this one and dragging it over. Kind of right. Time to put some of the crafting stations in, and you can of course just place this one on top of the shelf like this, but I was kind of trying to be fancy and actually pushed it a little bit inside of the shelf, kind of hiding the first floor of the shelf. If you want to do that, you have to first remove a little bit of the shelf here, then experiment a little bit with height. So let's try this. That should be higher up, until you get it exactly right. You just have to make sure that you push it far enough back in place so that you can cover up this box over here when you put the beams back in place. Once you are happy with the placement, just remove all of the scaffolding here, or the one you can reach at least. Put the beams back in position, the floorboards. Now we see a little bit of the box sticking out there, but we can hide it with adding extra support for the shelf. By the way, if you like this video, don't forget to actually like it and maybe drop a comment below. It really helps keeping me motivated to make more videos like this. Let's continue. And now we can just place the rest of the add-ons for the cooking fires as decoration for the bar. So maybe the cutting table here. The pots and pans could be placed here, but I put some barrels in there instead. So I just put those over here on the wall. From here on you can just keep adding stuff to decorate the bar. So some food stuff, maybe some mugs and plates on the bar disc itself. I also placed one of these smaller lamps in the corner to lit up this area. All of these bigger lamps here I usually put up while building and then just remove once I'm done with the build. Time to place that fireplace and just put it tight against the wall like this. Then grab from the crafting place the cooking station and you should be able to place it inside like this. I can remove these ones here. If you don't manage to remove them without actually removing this one, you can always remove this one as well. Then you should be able to snap new ones into place like this. And then we can just solve these parts with free placing. After you are done with that, all that is left is just decorating the bar, adding maybe some seashells, some paintings on the walls, other type of lamps, tables, chairs, candles, and maybe a little ship model, just to make the bar look more cozy. Do you have any other type of great ideas on how to incorporate the crafting stations in Windrose into an aesthetical build? Please share them in the comment section below. In the next video we will be taking a look at the top floor of this build and kind of the finished tavern build. Until then, cheers!